didn't just do that.
We opened it up. All right, guys. Hey, everybody. We are live. Get out of that light. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I know. Hey, guys, what do we have going on today? All right, we have the new year coming. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready to rock and roll in the new year? Because I am. I already started prepping for this. New Year's, you guys know I'm doing power bodybuilding. What are you guys doing? That is the curiosity. Let me see what we got here going on.
Like you're getting ready to tell the fucking best Christmas story of all time.
This will be the best Christmas story of all time going on right now.
Good day from Germany. Hey, Mike, Merry Christmas.
Nah.
Absolutely not.
Right there? You okay with that? That's crisp and clean. What do you guys think? Upper chest? That's what we're doing right there. That's what I always do. Focus on that upper chest. Germany, guten Morgen. Danke gut.
Smash that like button.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Privyet.
Privyet. Hello. Russia?
I train upper chest now because of you.
I'm glad I did. I'm glad that you saw and understood the effect of that. Because most people will hear me talk about it, and not just me, but other legends that have been here and people that have helped train the greatest in the world will talk about the upper chest and how much more important that is to focus on. So great job on that.
All right, it's gone. 2 minutes of 2 minutes of that way.
We're doing a lot of cameos right now too, so that's kind of a fun thing for me to do, these cameos.
Best stretches and exercises for shoulder longevity.
I always go back to one of the greatest exercises there is, and that's behind the neck press for me. Let me just say that again. Behind the neck presses for me and the people I work with. And a lot of, which is cool because I talk about it a lot of the athletes that have hurt their shoulders comes back around and they start that exercise again and opens it up to heal their injuries. So that's something for you guys to take into consideration. So behind the neck.
How would you structure a workout program for an athlete? I find it hard to lift weights and do things like squats, upper bench, deads without affecting my sport.
It's interesting. So I got most of my athletes that I've worked with, from pro football players, from martial artists, MMA, to the baseball players I've worked with, to the wrestlers I've worked with. It's power bodybuilding. It's more focused around that compound movement to start with, and then move on to a secondary, but you minimize the volume with so many secondaries that take away from the aspect of your explosion and your speed. So that's what we need to focus on to make you the best athlete. But that's also what's helped me stay in the game as long as I have. Yeah, they're ready to go.
What happened to that third one?
Give it to her.
Okay, I was going to say, is she plotting to stash it again or what?
Feels like a little fire giving us that mood tonight.
How do you work your lower chest? I struggle to improve it.
Well, yeah, usually, men. Was that a man? I'm assuming. Girls who have no lower chest is pretty darn good. Yeah, it's kind of a given on that one. Are you speaking of the development of it? Because I'm going to assume, and just show a picture of your chest, that your lower chest is better developed than your upper chest. It may be consideration of diet, and so there may be something going on there where you're wanting to slice and dice it, but through the workout, which we all know that doesn't happen. You can only develop the muscle. Making it look sharp, and that nice insertion comes from nutrition. That's actually something I've never heard in my entire life. Somebody saying my lower chest needs more development.
Yeah.
Upper chest development, yeah, that's pretty much 90% of men.
Let's see. Can we get a cameo?
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Yeah. You gonna do a little see you later? Go back to yours.
Yeah, whoa. Can we get a cameo link in here for potential Christmas gifts?
Right there. Huh. Just search cameo.com, Mike Ohearn. You should be able to find that there. But that'll take you right to it. Let's get a couple more here, guys. Just want to jump on today and say hello, Monday. Man, the volume is paying dividends on week 3 for power bodybuilding for me. It's fun to wake up and then do this workout, and you just find that everything you've been doing the last couple of weeks, that's how fast it is. Last couple of weeks. Today was the start of week 3 and already such improvements. So it's a great feeling.
At what age do you think lifting heavy is not as beneficial due to injuries, etc.?
Wow. You said 2 things. So, injuries happen with lightweight. It happens at any age. So you have to remove that. I hate doing this. I hate taking yours and assuming what you're trying to say, because what you're saying doesn't make sense. Again, injuries happen no matter what the weight is. And most of the times I don't see people injure themselves in the gym, but they happen lifting a couch, even though they've been powerlifting for 20 years. So I removed that from that. But the point of a moderate rep range, from 8 and below with heavier weight, I've never seen a decrease in health benefits from it. I see that the people I've seen continue to weight lift and make changes and look good, not survive, not just be in the gym, but look good doing it, are the guys like Robbie Robinson and others at that stage that are still lifting heavy and doing a good amount of weight. So I don't see the decline in that. I do see a decline and destruction to the body from a lot of people that go away from the stimulation of heavy weight and go to lightweight and just start repping out. So I've just seen a lot of that. I see the deterioration quicker from both aspects. They stop stressing the body, and then they just start putting mileage on the body by doing tons and tons of reps with no weight, lightweight.
Who are your current role models at the moment that are still doing it?
Robbie Robinson, and there's others that are in it. And you know what? A couple guys that I powerlifted with in the early 90s are still role models because they're still just, it's ironic that 3 of the strongest guys in the industry today were competing against each other in the early 90s, all in the same weight class. And for those 3 to still be out there crushing it at this stage, I think it's great. And it also just kind of, it establishes that the 3 guys that continued just the basic work with a minimum rep range, not this high 15s to 20s that people talk about, with good amount of stress to their body. They're going crazy. It's great. Yeah, it's great. Sorry, the pups are going wild. So that's who still motivate me. And I see this. Good question, though. Thank you, my friend.
This is funny because people still believe this. So what's the best way to define your muscles? Because I've always been told that lightweight, high reps is what gets that.
Wait a minute. Read that again to me.
So what's the best way to define your muscles? Because I was always told lightweight, high reps for that.
So you're saying that you've heard something over and over again, and they keep telling you this. I'm just jumping forward here. Sorry, guys. You're repeating something that you've asked 100 times, and so you already know the answer. Obviously, if you've heard this throughout the decades or years that you've been doing this, and you have it, then you know that works for you. Or there's another side to this, and you're asking this again because you still haven't maintained or done to the level where you want to be showing the muscles. You haven't got there yet. So even though you've heard this and attempted this, it still hasn't worked for you. So it goes back to what Jeffrey says, the same thing. It's nutrition, champ. There's no such thing as light weights. So anybody here that wants to get in shape, just put your nutrition on point. It's that simple.
You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Good form or heavy weight?
Can we block him? Why would something like that? Why wouldn't it just be good form with heavyweight? You can't do good form with heavyweight? I'm confused. I hope everybody else kind of laughed at that one because that doesn't make sense. The attempt is always good form. Form is essential. How you do the exercise is more important than you do the exercise.
What strength exercises would you recommend for a 13-year-old boy that wrestles? No weights. Thanks.
Yeah, handstand push-ups, jump squats, walking lunges. Superman's on the floor, get that lower back really strong. But the walking lunges, and he can even hold dumbbells at this stage. He's 13, so he can easily hold dumbbells and do those walking lunges. Now, here's the thing, though. Great father for asking. He's 13, or this could be, hypothetically, the 13-year-old asking. I don't need as much weightlifting at 13 as people would think. I need more body weight workouts. I need more dumbbell workouts. You could do that. But with wrestling, incorporate some swimming as well if you can. But the handstand push-ups, the V-ups, get some extra gymnastics work into, mostly because he's doing wrestling. The one that coincides and the great wrestlers talk about it is get gymnastics involved at 13 for that age, for that sport, gymnastics, believe it or not. Body control. He's going to do some great things, mostly the parallel bars, doing the dips, the rings, coming up into those iron crosses, and then just learning to control the body.
Tips for muscular imbalance. My left pec is slightly bigger than the right. Same with the bicep. Also, huge fan. Shout out Andrew and John.
My recommendation is, what was the aminos? The Hercules. The Hercules potion. Also a stim machine to activate and make sure those neurons are firing on the weaker side. Make sure you got that contraction. Those are the main focus. And then when you're lifting, you just got to focus on that one side more than anything else. Was it his chest? Is that what he was saying?
Pec and bicep.
Yeah, so there's something going on nerve-wise or concentration-wise. So also just use the head, tilt to that side. Look at those sides when you're lifting. You know, you're bench pressing, look off to this side and just know that you're contracted through that side. The bicep, look at it a little bit more. That one is from Arnold. The looking, the really see, the connect. Okay, a couple more questions, guys.
At what point does cardio change from fat burning to muscle burning?
From fat burning to muscle burning. Well, it's how intense you're doing it. You're where your heart rate is at. And then also it also coincides with your calorie intake too. So, but yeah, if you're on that cardio and you're hitting 160s, 170 heart rate and stuff, that high impact, that's going to start breaking it away. Depends on how much you're eating though too. So, but it's also, here's the thing with you're trying to balance it out. You're only doing cardio for 12 weeks as you're slicing and dicing, I'm assuming, because the rest of the year you're good, depending on your age. And then you're also going to be working that heart with the power bodybuilding program with the volume of the exercises. So keep in mind that you don't have to do cardio.
Your average time in the gym per day?
I was there 3 hours today. Let me see. What time did I come back in?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, about 3.
Average 2 to 3. 2 to 3 hours. Mostly now because I'm doing power bodybuilding. You don't have to be in there that long. You can get it done before that.
Is bench needed for a good chest?
I'd go with inclines is needed for a good chest. More so than bench. And also the benefits. There's side effect benefits for a healthier shoulders, a more developed chest, in my opinion.
How do you stay big while filming long hours on set?
Well, you stay big no matter what you do. You stay big if you were playing football 4 hours, 6 hours, and then have to do whatever, or being a school teacher. You stay big because your calorie intake is right. Remember that weightlifting is a stimulant, right? And so if you want to develop more muscle, you want to keep your body active, those are great things. But technically, you should be able to keep your size just by nutrition. Keep eating correctly, keep feeding the body what it needs, not what you want, but what it needs. And you should be able to retain that size. Yeah. Because the least filming is such a slow process that you can always get your meals on. So that's the least of your concerns job-wise. You know what I mean?
Mike, can you give us some advice on carb cycling and macronutrient cycling in general? Thank you.
I don't know what macro cycling in general it would be. Because you would stay on your meal plan, right? Now, if you're cutting up, then you want to bring in some carb cycling, right? Because that would be the goal when you're cutting up. The 3 low, 1 high kind of thing. And that would still depend on how many weeks out you are from that final date. And so carb cycling is great when it's incorporated into a 12-week plan. My recommendation, if you're in a surplus and you're off season, you wouldn't carb cycle. You'd make sure to keep in. You just take a look at her. She's just walking around. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't need to, in my opinion, to carb cycle if you're in a surplus and you're off season, but you would want to keep track of them because, say every 2, 3, 4 weeks, or when you feel it, like today, when I got up and looked at the physique, I go, body kicked in. And if you haven't seen any previous videos over the last 2 weeks, I incorporated carbohydrates back in after that last diet. And so I'm going to wait until the body utilizes carbs. And this morning was the trick. This morning wasn't the trick. It was the body kicking in. And I woke up and I'm like, there we go. Okay. You know what to do with this now. And so again, I'm in a surplus and I'm bringing in carbs slowly. So I'll watch it every 2 to 3 weeks or when it tells me. And that's what's great about the Titan check-ins, because when you check in with me, I ask you these 20, 25 questions. And if you can, send photos. And then I can kind of look to see how the body is working, how it's utilizing the carbohydrates, if you're getting stronger, better, depending on what your goal is. But when you're cutting up the 12 weeks, I would go with the typical 3-to-1. I would go low for 3 days, depending on what your calories need to be at. So again, this is something you're going to find out as you're dieting, or we're going to find out together as you're dieting. Is your low days 200 grams, and then your high day is 500 grams of carbohydrates? We have to find that out as we're moving through the process of getting you in shape. I don't recommend what a lot of people do now is that they carb cycle all year. They're in a deficit all year. And I just see that's short-sighted. But great question. Great question. And carb cycling is a great tool to use.
Hey, Mike, nice flannel. What do you think about using dairy and fruit as a primary carb source rather than grains?
I like it. I absolutely love it. I don't know about more so, but I would definitely try different carbohydrates. And we just talked about this. This is something the team just talked about, is that you've got to introduce different kind of carbohydrates to the body. And fruit is one of those great carbohydrates. And then I love the aspect that you could do some kind of, did he say milk? Or dairy? Okay. Milk, cheese, cottage cheese, yogurt. I love that idea. And I love that you're willing to let your body try that and let it utilize. Hi there, buddy. Oh, okay. Your fans are waiting for you. Great question. And the only reason I say, back to the last question real quick, the only thing I would say, incorporate it, don't replace it. So whatever you were doing before, for anybody here that wants to incorporate fruit and wants to incorporate that dairy, don't just replace the whole thing with something else. Remove half here of whatever you were doing, the oatmeal, the rice, the potatoes, whatever you were doing, and then bring in some of the fruit and dairy and let your body adapt to it and go, okay, I can utilize this stuff and work with me. Because a lot of times, and especially as you get older, that body is, you keep something away from it, it becomes toxic to the body. I guess you would say the best way to say that. You know, you run away from carbohydrates for 5 years because you did a keto diet. Great, good for you. You got where you wanted to go and you used the program that got you to that point. But then you want to reintroduce carbs. It's going to take some time for your body to get used to those carbohydrates again. So don't be in a rush. And also don't say that you're allergic to it because you took something out and away from you. I hear that all the time. Oh, I can't do this. Why? I tried it once and it just wrecked me. Well, you also kept it out of your diet for the last 3 years. So
imagine being strong enough to run multiple miles per day, lift weights nonstop, but too weak to eat fucking loaf of bread. Ooh.
Yeah, but that's how it is. It's a great point, though. That's the harsh reality of it. It's like, I'm a savage. I can train 3 hours a day. I can do this. I can't have a piece of toast. Okay, well. Whoa. Whoa. Show the people.
All right.
Look what she can eat.
So somebody asked in here something about cheap foods and how do you not give in to temptation.
But has anybody heard about the Ritz crackers? Well, guess what? Kabam.
160.
Fudge.
So
Mike, with that in the house,
yeah.
So right here, what are your favorite cheap foods? Foods you shouldn't be eating but can't help giving into. Do you feel guilty after? Now, with that being in the house, is that going to stray you from your diet?
Yeah, I'm not that person. Yeah.
I don't feel guilty.
Yeah, but see, this is what's great about her. She can eat that stuff. It doesn't change her physique. But she also never ran away from a high carb diet. For me, no, I don't. There's nothing that I need to have.
Most importantly, I could have 2 cookies and put the box back.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. See, she can do the 2 cookies and put the box back. I'm the guy that's 1 cookie's too much and 1,000's not enough. So, yeah, I don't need to cheat. I know the consequences, and I just don't have that temptation to go ballistic. You guys are probably, if there's anybody here that's really seen me for a long period of time, I used to do these high days with Heath Evans, and Heath would go extreme high carbs you know, the donuts and
The orange rolls.
the Oreo cookies all the time and all that. I tried those things. Yeah, it was.
You don't like it. I mean,
Yeah,
you like it, but you don't like it.
Yeah, wasn't my kind of high day. I don't need it. Good question though. It's a good question, and I know that's hard. Mona said this to Heath today because Heath called me and goes, "Hey, remind me about the blitz on what days do we do this? What days do we fast? What days do we do the fish?" And I was explaining it to him, and then Mona goes and gets on the phone, goes, "You ain't gonna do it. You got 4 kids in the house. Everybody has to be on the blitz for you to be on the blitz." And it's a good point for Heath. Everybody needs to be on it because he's very tempted by food. I'm not tempted by food. I guess that's my superpower.
This is a good one because you have a client that you can relate with this. Mike, I'm training to be a medical doctor, and I find myself in pretty stressful situations, which kind of makes it difficult to eat and get my calories in. Any advice? I'm still training hard.
Yeah, protein drinks are going to be your best friend. I fully understand this. I've got a lot of doctors that I've worked with, surgeons, experts in their fields. And what I do is those days that they're locked in, you can't break away from a 5-hour surgery to get your meal in. So it's protein drinks. Do the very best you can. I just had a discussion about something today. And everybody is different when it comes to training, nutrition, and your goal setting. And you've got to do the very best you can. And so for this gentleman here, I say to my surgeons, and even if you're not a surgeon, you're still a nurse or you're on call there. It's pretty stressful, ongoing, especially ER. Just do the best you can on those days and take protein drinks to when you can get them in there. And you do get a potty break. So, you know, if you can, you know, you get that protein drink every 3 hours and then make your carbohydrates up and your fats after work. Great question though.
This question goes.
Because it doesn't have to do with just doctors. This has to do with anybody and all jobs.
Amazon factory workers that can't do shit.
They're pretty locked down.
They make memes about them.
Oh, jeez. We got a couple of those boys, man, unloading those Amazon boxes and stuff, loading trucks.
I'm looking for this rack pull question.
We'll finish on that. Thanks for hanging, guys. I'll be on tomorrow, so if you guys want to talk to John from Titan Medical, be good to go.
Dude who asked about rack pulls, ask that again.
Rack
I can't
pulls.
find it.
What's up, Mo? Come here. Let's do a rack pull right now.
You won't rack.
You won't lift this up.
What is going on?
Okay.
What is happening here?
Thanks for answering the question.
Very short on my shirt.
A
Nice.
6'5" guy trying to get back to the
Christmas
military.
time. You see it, baby. Don't hurt me. Look at this. You can still get this. This is gonna be good for Christmas.
You guys
it's a
don't
Christmas gift.
Mona's
Get it now.
the headless horseman. What was that question? He's 6'5"?
It's just a statement. He's just saying he's trying to get back.
Get your butt moving, man. For anybody and everybody here, just stay as consistent as you want. There's Mona's favorite shirt.
What?
Oh, what?
What? Did you say something?
It's one of our new shirts right there.
At what age can children start safely weight training? And what should the primary focus be to ensure it's appropriate and beneficial for their development?
My recommendation is that's up to the parent. I started lifting at 9 and competing on an Olympic lifting at 12, 13, powerlifting at 13, 14 in competitions. Now, that being said, I was governed really well. And so I would hate to say that you parents don't know, but I recommend, because it is your kid, to be really safe. They can start young, but get somebody that's qualified to help you train them or teach you what to do. And then also at that stage too, something I'm going to do with Titan is I am going to and we have been, I will wait until he knows how to contract all the muscles to train. So until he knows how to bounce his chest, until he knows how to flex the biceps, flex the triceps, flex his shoulders, hit a back double bicep, flex his hamstrings, I probably will not have him lift until those are completely in control. And the reason why is because weightlifting is about mind to muscle connection. No matter athlete, bodybuilder, power lifter, or whatever it is, lifting weights is mind to muscle connection, or you're just going through the motions, which is not good for any human walking the planet. If you're just going through the motions, then you're just deteriorating the body. If there's not a connection there and you're not getting the benefit of what weights are supposed to do. Understand, back in the early years when these guys looked incredible, and I wish you had a photo of a 1920s guy before anything, before the gyms, before all that, just gymnastics, just push-ups and handstand push-ups and flexing is how they work their bodies. And that was one of the biggest things, just pushing against to get the chest going, flexing it, flexing the biceps against something, a countertop. I'm at a desk right now, so I'm just flexing the biceps while I try to lift this desk up. That's how they built their bodies back in the early 1900s. And it's beautiful. Look at these guys. Look at these physiques to the right. Don't go, that's steroids or anything. Steroids run around that, guys. That's just isometric isolations, just flexing the arms and everything. So it's a beautiful thing to think that you can get that. And think about how they ate back then.
1876 to
1876.
1920, this guy lived on the photo.
Jeez Louise. That's beautiful. And that should make you all guys, everybody here, happy that can be created by just eating correctly and training with very minimal things. So, you got gyms now that give you everything. There's got to be some good trainers out there for you to listen to. Jump in the Titan crew. Get on the nutrition that's smart for you. Get on a workout plan that fits your goals, and let's rock and roll. I'll guide you through this. But for kids, teach them to pose first before. That is an ugly ass face.
I know.
Holy sheesh.
It's probably something. Do you recommend lifting straps for better back development on rowing exercises?
Well, then you're saying heavier weight is going to give you a better back. And I disagree with that. I think connection to back is going to give you a better back. So I until you master the art of developing a back, I don't think the straps need to come in, because then all you're going to do is go from not connecting to the back to lifting heavier weight, not connecting to the back, and risk even more injuries. So that's what I recommend. We haven't used straps. The whole time we train together, we don't use straps.
Not one time.
So.
Not one time. What if that's why he wants to use straps? Because he can't connect.
If he can't connect to his back, I go back to the youngster, the 12, 13-year-old going, teach him to pose first. And so your best chance to develop a back, if this guy that just asked that question is saying, I need to go heavier to get a back, in nobody's world. There's too much factor that people get great backs just by posing, by just doing gymnastics, just by doing pull-ups. So the idea that heavier weight is going to do it solely, it's the connection to heavier weight. The reason I like heavier weight is because it's stress to the body, which means that I'll allow a longer lifespan with a healthy back. That's why I like heavy weight. But, that's the side effect, longevity. But to develop it, you can do whatever. This one still cracks me up that that's in somebody's mindset.
Good former heavyweight.
It still cracks me up. Why would you do that? Driving faster but reckless? How about just driving faster and more precise? And that's what heavier weight should be.
Ooh.
Heavier weight but more precise. To think that you have to get bad form to lift heavier weight shows me your intelligence. To weightlifting.
$47, just started going to the gym. Any advice? Longtime fan.
First of all, congrats. I get that it's tough, at that stage. My advice is make sure the nutrition is on point first. Get the nutrition on point for what works for you, where your maintenance is, and then let's figure out what we're going to do. And right now, if it's you're just getting back to the gym, I'd make sure that you're in a surplus. So not only are you getting some of that memory muscle that you had back in your 20s and 30s, but also you're feeding your body well enough to get back in the gym and do it 3-4 times a week. And do not rush. My recommendation is you just getting in there. 3 days is plenty. 3 days is plenty. Don't go crazy. Don't go, I'm going to go 6 days a week and an extra hour of cardio, and I'm not going to eat carbs, and I'm going to fast 2 days. Don't do that. Don't be that person. You're 47. You're starting now. Think about, okay, take it up another level in 48. Good job, though. So many people just, I'm 47. I'm way over it. Yeah, I hate that. All right, 2 more, Jeffrey.
2 more.
I know, right?
2 more bangers, boys.
I'll give props to anybody that's in their late 40s. I'll give props to anybody that just says, you know what, forget it. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to start. I love that, man. Props to you guys. Anybody.
He is over 40. I'm 66. Started weight training about 2 years ago, and I put on good muscle. But I have to work very hard at it. What is your thoughts about building muscle at my age?
Well, I think it's great. First off, I would focus also on your strength level. Make sure that you're keeping your strength mostly at 66, that bone density. Go get your bone density checked. You're 66. I'd love to see that in a couple of years. You know, come back when you're 70 and tell me what your bone density is at that point. I'll guarantee it'll be better. So that is more important to me. Make sure the nutrition, make sure your blood work is great. Make sure your levels you got them recorded and you know what's healthy for your body, and keep eating. And then think about this, you know, last couple of years, you're getting all that memory muscle back too. So it's a great flow for anybody that's here. Memory muscle comes back, and it comes back nice. So if you were in shape at one time, you had more muscle at one time, no matter what age, get back in there, see what happens. It's a beautiful thing. The body's an amazing thing. It's the mind that shuts it down. That's the only problem. The body wants to be strong and healthy.
I'm going to be 70, and I'm at the gym right now.
Love it.
This guy, another one. I'm 70, been at it for 3 years.
See, guys? So there's a difference between existing and living. These guys are living, and they know they're into it. All these 70-year-olds right here, these are the guys should be motivating you going, I'm 30. These guys are doing it because they love it, and they're going to stay healthy. So it's just, and he dropped 50 pounds too at 70.
Yeah, he dropped 50
Nice
pounds.
job.
He's looking for another 20.
You'll get there. Just make sure that diet is on point. You get there. Look at that dashing man. He looks like a soap star. Look at that. And with that name, Spencer. Hello.
Spencer Niles.
Yeah, so go easy on the ladies at the gym. All right there, Spencer. Love it. That's great. Spencer Niles. He so made that name. Man, I guarantee that's his real name, man. Too old school not to. Freaking love it. Okay, give me another one.
That's fine. Well, is this the last one? Mo, is this the last
Mo,
one?
is this the last one? All right.
It's the third to last one. Well, dude, no one is lifting at 66. You're an anomaly. That's an old statement earlier, but you just saw multiple people. 70s lifting. Robbie, 80.
Robbie's 80.
Robbie's 80, talking mad shit in the gym when we lift.
Wow, this is a weird question.
How did you grow to 6'3" if you started lifting at 9? Yeah, Mike, how did you get to 6'3"?
Can anybody explain how his brain works? I'm sorry, Clay. Life doesn't work that way. Is that his name, Clay? Chew?
Chew, something.
Yeah. That's a weird. I'd say chew, save that message, and then read that again in 10 years, and you're gonna go, "Whew, I've grown." It's so weird. Uh, you guys that are out there at that age today, man, props to you guys. Seriously, it doesn't get easier as you get older; it gets harder. So, man, props to you guys that are still doing it and living it and doing it and kicking ass.
Here's what macro cycling is.
Okay.
By macro cycling, I meant when my carbs are higher, I would lower protein intake but stay with the same calories. I also do that with the fat. Trying to lose more weight. I went from 397 to 267 with zero cardio.
Okay. First off,
Damn.
great job.
Crazy.
I just hope that's a different individual and you're not a smaller version of yourself. And that's what I worry about. There's no such thing as in my world. There's no such thing as then what you're stating, because you wouldn't lower the protein. Your protein, unless you're trying to rush this thing, and you've done something that so few do. So I give you so much props. But losing weight by just being in a surplus for a year, I don't want that. That's not healthy, and you're not retaining any of the muscle that's on your body as well. And I know that you have a number in mind, but I would take the more approach of keeping your protein relative to your lean muscle mass, and then playing with your carbohydrates through that. And you can play with your fats is all you want. I don't mind that. But just play with your carbohydrates. I wouldn't do lower the protein, raise your carbohydrates. I wouldn't do that. That's just my take on it. But you've done something that so few have. So technically, I would say don't listen to anybody and keep doing what you're doing. But for me, everybody I've worked with, from 500-pound people, 600-pound people down, we kept their protein the same. That way, at least I can retain their muscles as they're coming down. Because you've developed some good muscle walking around at 400 pounds, just by carrying that frame. So I would like you to keep it, because unfortunately with age, and I don't know what age you are, but being that heavy and overweight, there's going to be an issue with the skin. And I want less of an issue, if possible, with skin relative than you getting down to a goal weight. That's my take on it. But man, you've done something that so few have. So forget my advice. Just keep doing your thing, brother.
42. I work 3 full-time jobs. Having trouble losing weight. Can you help? I'm 209. I want to be 170.
Yeah, I have no clue where your blood work is. You got 3 jobs. You made my cortisol just jump through the roof saying that. So, yeah, I'd find out where your body's working. How's it working? Have you completely destroyed your T levels? How's your sleep? I don't know how much sleep you can get having 3 jobs. So my recommendation right now is get some blood work done. Make sure that your body's functioning correctly with your blood levels. And then make sure that you've got some calories going in there too, because I'd be curious to know what your baseline calorie intake is, because you're so active. So that's the 2 things that I would work on right now before worrying about losing any more weight. I would check health, check your calorie intake. Good job though, man. Way to be a beast. Again, I love this. I don't know why this is where when I'm on with somebody, we don't get these kind of questions. And you guys today are great questions. This is a great question. And I'm also getting people that motivate me. You got 3 jobs. Way to work your ass off, my friend. The last person that lost over 100 and something pounds. Great job again. You guys are doing it. And everybody else that's here, think about that.
Where did this guy go? That other guy was 33.
The drop the weight?
Yeah.
Good job doing it right now at that age. Really good job.
See ya, Alex.
What'd Alex say?
Oh, fucking no. It's too late now.
Ah, shoot. Some impressive people today.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the show.
Oh, thanks for hanging, brother. Thanks for hanging.
Do you ever crave sweets or soda?
Soda, God no. Oh my God, it just made me regurgitate right now. Absolutely not. Sweets, sure, I crave it. Discipline though. So, all right, guys. If Jeff can get one more, we're good. Thanks, man. You guys got some great questions today. See what Jeff comes up with here, but I think there's some great questions. Mona set up that hair light at the beginning. I want to thank Mona for her team. Yeah. With the whole crew from the Kesha production team. Thank you.
I've had a tissue-based hernia repair done. Should I avoid straining abdomen with deadlifts and squats to avoid a re-injury?
I would try to strengthen that. You do not look that old, my friend. Hopefully, yeah. The net and everything that they do, I don't know, hernia-wise, never had one. But the people that I've worked with that have had them, we always try to come back and we try to strengthen that area. And then hernias have a tendency also to heal up on their own if it's not too terrible. Just for you guys that have minor hernias. Yeah, we're good. All right, guys.
There it is.
Thanks for hanging out. I got to go eat a meal.